My name is Crispin. I work in, it has a very long title, DG Internal Market, Industry, Entrepreneurship and SMEs. But if you're all Brussels, we just know to us as GROW, which is kind of apt for today. Coming back to the countryside, I grew up on the coast in North Devon in England, so this is all very important to me. What I want to talk to you briefly today, and then we have some colleagues in the audience who are going to give you a bit more details because it's their lives about how it's worked for them and what they're doing on the ground, is about 3 networks that we run, 3 European networks that we're running under the Single Market Programme that very much support entrepreneurs and small businesses to grow. And we're happy. Somebody asked me, well, isn't it a problem if they grow too big? And I said, no, I'm quite happy if we have former clients, if they get to the stage of being the next Paul or the next Skype or whatever. So I'll talk you through briefly them. They're called the Enterprise Europe Network. We have a European Clusters network composed of 2 actions that we have. We have a European Clusters Collaboration Platform, ECCP if you want to be all Brussels, and a Euroclusters action, which Maurizio will talk to you about his practical experience later. And we have something that we called I, being in Brussels, but it's Erasmus for young entrepreneurs. But it's also open for people of my age who want to be new entrepreneurs. And collectively, what we do is we're looking for small entrepreneurs and small companies or medium-sized companies who have ambitions to grow in the single market, internationally. They really feel they've got something. And we give them a range of services through our networks. We give them the chance to develop their entrepreneurship skills. We give them innovation support and help them scale up if they're on the verge of kind of really making it big. We do a lot of international work, which is really important, as you know, in these very difficult times that we're going through. A core part of what we do is helping them on the single market, helping them access single market rules, helping them find partners in other countries across the single market. Recently, we've added a new service which is about resilience, is about preparedness. We've seen with the pandemic, which had huge impacts on the rural community. We've seen with the Russian invasion of Ukraine, we have this permanent threat. And so we allow companies to anticipate potential threats and move forward. We do a lot to help them access finance, both public and private, EU funding, but also how they can pitch to banks. We do a lot on clean industry, circularity and decarbonization. And finally, we do a lot on digital, which can also be crucial. So just to kind of break it down, Erasmus for young entrepreneurs, we give new entrepreneurs the chance to spend up to 6 months abroad with a more experienced partner to gain experience, to test out new ideas. And it's partly financed by the Commission. Then the Enterprise Europe Network, we've got nearly 600 bodies across Europe, including several here in Belgium, which we give them we give them support to provide advice, dedicated advice to these types of companies on how they can expand and how they can find partners. We have a huge satisfaction rate. And what we find, the headline figure that I really love here is this one in the bottom center. It's about 21% average increase in revenues reported by our clients. This is what they tell us about how fast it was. So we're seeing jobs created everywhere. And then we'll hear a bit more about this from Maurizio with the really vital importance of our clusters in rural communities and beyond, creating employment, pulling companies together so that they can support each other, so that they can build off each other. And collectively, what does this amount to? It amounts to more jobs, more turnover, more partnerships across regions, within regions, across countries, even in third countries. Terrific. It amounts to more investment, a lot of scale-ups. This is a big subject that we need to, Professor Draghi talked about, we have to increases, and stronger supply chains so that we're more resilient. And this is something where we pool off. We have who are our members, we have the clusters, we have trade promotion organizations, we have chambers of commerce in the communities, we have regional development agencies, innovation agencies. They're people who will be your partners everywhere. But we're giving them advice, we're helping them to connect up with each other and strengthening the kind of work that they do, allowing them to share expertise on things like sustainability and energy efficiency. So what does this mean? What's the rural dimension of all of this? This is something that, as I said, we're doing at European level. It's available to any SME that has growth ambitions beyond its home member state. There's a website, you can go to it, you can find it. Same with clusters. You go to the clusters, you say, this is what I'm looking to do. So it's extremely useful because it helps them connect. It helps them give dedicated advice about rules, say different rules on product safety, different rules on food safety that they have to navigate. Helps them find, as I said, find partners, helps them to innovate. This can be crucial. Develop new ways of their product, often in a sustainable way, like on biomass, or develop new ways of doing things. And above all, talk to pitching. We do a lot of work, particularly to encourage women entrepreneurs, to make it easier for them to get rid of the bias that exists. And we do a lot to encourage skills. And as I said, we're general, but we're also looking at specific sectors. We have what we call sector groups, and we have sectoral actions in Euroclusters. So we do a lot of work on agri-food, we do a lot of work on tourism, renewable energy, I mentioned biomass, and then we do a lot of work on craft industries. I could give you some more examples, but I think with that, I seem to be ahead of time. I haven't even been given the orange card. So I'm going to pass over. Yay! So this is a good start. So I think I'll pass on to the next person. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Crispin. So yes, in a nutshell, loads and loads of instruments, and hopefully there will be a take-up from rural areas. And there is a take-up from rural areas already, and we have some examples. Is it okay now? Yes. Yeah, they're and you can leave the other one for the next speaker, actually. Okay, so now we go to what is actually happening in different rural areas across the EU. And starting with an initiative that is actually now happening in France, but it will be happening shortly all over Europe. So we have Audrey Aubard here, who's working in a... Okay, she was actually going to explain the association, but the key word is geographical indications for industrial and crafts products or services.
Okay, thank you, Ursula. Good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure for me to be here with you, and thank you very much for the invitation and, well, the opportunity to discuss about this very new topic for the European Commission, which is not geographical indication, but geographical indication for the craft and the industrial sector. I will try to summarize as much as possible. Just in few words, who we are. Indeed, 10 years ago, France decided to endorse a law recognizing the origin branded product and the local product, because we had some problems of fake product in the market, Chinese product in the market, if I can say that. We had also problem of enterprises that were gone in Asia, as well, and there was a real topic of bringing back the economy in our rural areas, because we are, most of us, in rural areas, and trying to make survive the heritage and the crafts we had in France. Okay, so we had this law. As you may know, if you come from the craft sector, that craftsmen enterprises are often isolated. They are not discussing all together. We are not in the agricultural sector where everybody knows each other, because we have the cooperatives, we have a lot of things, and all of the sectors didn't know each other, but they were reaching the same objective, being protected, surviving, and developing and boosting their economy. So that's why we created the French Federation of Craft GIs, with the aim of networking, discussing on different types of topics, or the missions of a federation, of a professional federation today. We are among the policy of the Made in France, because we have a policy of Made in France with different types of initiatives trying to foster the industry and the crafts. We have been also building up a specific working group, a European working group on this topic with different types of members from Europe. So we have the European Craft Alliance, we have the Blue Stone, we have Italian, Portuguese, Spanish, Slovenian, Czech Republic, and we are, well, doing the same work as we do in France, but at the European level, because there were many discussions about the regulation. There is not a regulation. No, maybe after. No, so sorry. I thought there was a slide on the regulation. So we have a regulation on the craft sector that will be implemented at the 1st December of this year, and we are very, very happy because at our national level, well, the protection was not enough because we are exporting a lot our product, and we deserve a protection beyond the national borders, and I will say also beyond the European borders. So this regulation is very important for the craft and the industrial sector, and we hope we will enjoy the same positive impacts as for the agricultural sector, meaning, well, the development of the rural areas, the development of the employment, etc., etc. We are also looking for a much more organized approach of the sector, because as I mentioned to you, the craft sector is isolated, and we also hope that this new system, the GI, will develop the visibility of our product, and that together we will be stronger in the market during the fairs, and that our GI will be the European flagship of excellence. Very quickly, we have some specificities. We have very diverse know-hows, from basic one to more developed one. We are working a lot with innovation, so we don't mean that we have old products, but we are also able to develop new kinds of products. And also, what makes the things a little bit difficult is that the markets are diverse as well, and we have different types of fairs. We don't have the agri-fair, where everybody can gather. We have different types of fairs that makes, well, the promotion tools a little bit more complex. To finish, in terms of impacts we are looking for, also, in addition to what I said, what we are looking for, and this is very important for us, is also telling the truth to the consumer. I mean, we have been cheated for so many years. We have some Chinese products, including in the internet, selling, I don't know, the Nagel Tweed or selling porcelain de Limoges that are coming from other countries. And this is terrible for our enterprises. So it is our responsibility and the responsibility of the European Union as well to develop a tool that provides the clear information to the public, and that provides also the economy for our enterprises. Another point also, which is very important for us, is the access to public procurement. So as I mentioned, in France, we develop the Made in. I hope we will develop the Made in Europe, and to favor the European purchase. And this is why also GI can be very interesting in terms of economic tool. We have the relocation of production activities, and we had the example in Limoges. Some enterprises came back in the area, in rural area, to produce the porcelain. The promotion of circular economy, of course, if you buy local, well, this is good. If you use the local material, we are also providing circular economy. We protect the heritage and the culture. We have some connection with tourism, obviously. And last point, which is very important, and we are able also to recreate new trainings in some specific remote and rural areas. So that's why GI can be a very strong tool in order to boost, I will not say whole the rural economy, but some kind of part and some part of the rural economy. I finish with my presentation. Thank you.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. Thank you very much. Maybe I can take care of the other microphone. Okay, so we've had this very new and developing type of SME, rural businesses, but we also have a very old and well-established rural activity, which is, of course, rural tourism. So, and there is, I think Crispin mentioned that there is this support through Euroclusters. So we have actually a Eurocluster on rural tourism to be presented jointly by Maurizio from the lead of the project leader, and then Frosso, who will present the perspective of the local actors involved in the project. Okay, over to you.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I am Maurizio Malè from Venetian cluster. So we are a cluster about heritage, cultural, environmental heritage. We are registered in the European Cluster Collaboration Platform, and we were the coordinator of this project, the EU Rural Tourism, Eurocluster Rural Tourism Project. We have several partners, so we collected around us. Firstly, Rural Tour, that was the initiator of the idea of this project. It is the Fédération of Rural Tourism Associations in Europe. Then we have the Harghita Region Development Agency, the Euro Academy from Greece, Harghita from Romania, National Cluster Association in Czech Republic, Rural Tour, I said, and the cluster of sustainable tourism in Aragon. The project was supported by the COSME program, so it was a specific call for creating new Euroclusters in different sectors, and we presented the proposal to have the creation of a Eurocluster about the rural tourism sector, which was needed and not existing. We received a contribution of 1,200,000 euros, of which 950,000 were destined to enterprises, directly to enterprises, and especially small and very small enterprises of the rural tourism. The objectives of the project were firstly to create a Eurocluster. So basically, Euroclusters are cluster of clusters. So they collect clusters from different countries in the same subject, in the same topic, and they try to coordinate at European level the different realities, not only clusters, because we have 3 clusters in our consortium, but we have also other associations, federations, or other types of organizations. So the objective was to support the business growth in the rural tourism sector, and to support especially those very, very small enterprises that could never access European funding because they are too small and they are not able to apply to a call, to a European call. In that sense, the clusters are a very good organizations at the level of receiving contributions from the European Union and being able to distribute it to smaller realities that are members of the clusters and that are using the cluster in order to get some funding. They could never do it alone. And also, we wanted to stress on environmental sustainability of the rural tourism sector. So to incentivize more sustainability in the project from enterprises. So the results is that we finally constituted the Eurocluster on rural tourism. The project finished last February, so it is just ended. We have this Eurocluster formed with an agreement between the partners. We provided training first to service providers, because we selected the providers and then we selected the enterprises. So it was very important to have very good consultants that were able to provide consultancy to enterprises, because small enterprises, sometimes they don't even know what are their needs or their limits. So they need someone external to tell them, you can do this or that, there is this opportunity, you can improve your business in this way. And in fact, enterprises presented their project, their ideas, their proposal to our call. but they were quite general, and then they realized, after the first audit and assessment by the external consultants, what they could do more and what they needed. And they were very happy because they said, the consultant really helped me to improve my business in a way that I would never imagine before. We created a repository of the project, so you can go and see the website where you find all the cases, so all the enterprises we supported, what they did with the funding. We funded 188 micro enterprises. Each of them received maximum 5,000 euro, so it is not a big amount, but they did very nice project in digitalization, in environmental sustainability, in social issues, so how to better welcome the visitors, to include people with special needs, and networking with other local realities, creating local itineraries, local events, in order to be more connected to their territory and to offer more services to the visitors. So the project, the support we gave to enterprises was not only money. So with this money, they had to pay consultants that we before selected with a specific call, but also they had meetings, they had assistance from the partners, from the consultants, and they got support also, especially from us, from the partners, to report, because reporting was required by the call. We have to show European Commission how we spend the money and how the enterprises spent the money. So we needed a report from them, but small enterprises are not used to build reports as a European project, so we were supporting them, explaining you have to do this and that, you have to use the logo of European Union in your materials. And it was not easy, it was a lot of work, but finally it was good to see all the results. And this is the type of enterprises we were funding. We asked at least 1 year of activity in the market. We started with 3 years with the first call, but we realized that many enterprises could not participate because, especially after COVID, they had either to change or to open a new activity, so new form, juridical form. Maximum 10 employees, so micro enterprises. Internal areas, of course, rural areas, mountain areas, not urban. And we selected also by the type of business, the NESA code for accommodation, travel, so specific business activities. The consulting was provided by selected consultants, and also we trained the consultants in order to provide the service to the enterprises to be in line with the project objectives. These are the interventions we requested. So there was a list of possible interventions. The enterprise, when they applied to the call for proposals, they could choose one or more of these actions and present their idea on what they would like to do in one or more of these activities. This is the result. So we had SMEs from almost any European country. We selected a lot of different countries. You see there is a good distribution among countries. And this is the distribution among the support actions, the list you saw before. So they decided more or less, they applied to all the measures, and there is a good distribution also on that. And I leave the floor to Frosso, so she will present you some case of the 188 enterprises, what they did with the funding and what are the results. Thank you.
So, thank you for the opportunity to be here and present this project. I wanted to stress that we got all these actions because we were recommending to SMEs to choose at least 3 and not choose just one sector, for example, digital, but try to improve in all 3 sectors, and only if this was not possible, to go ahead and choose only one. Also, I would like to stress that our experts were great, and they were very considerate, and they had a very good mindset on how to approach small businesses. I think this was our biggest success, the training of our experts, that they were able to sit down with small enterprises and discuss what they dream about their business, how they see their business. They were not able to do amazing things. They were able to do small things, but these small things were possible. So, for example, this guest house from Romania, she was so proud of her heritage, so she decided to build in a new system with culinary innovation that would enrich the experience. So she sat down with the expert and created the itinerary. He helped her understand how to work with the timeline of the project. So she sat with him and discussed how to make her idea possible. And this is just one. Another one is here, an SME from Spain that wanted to do rather innovative experiences. And because of the location, she had a mine and she had some wind farms. So she wanted to give to the guests the opportunity to visit these farms. So with the expert, they sat down, they built up an itinerary, they presented nicely on the website, they helped her promote it on the social, and she gave the bit of a motivation that she needed to sit down and do it. Of course, not all SMEs are the same. This was very evident because we had SMEs that had not even websites, and we had other SMEs that wanted apps, and they wanted to go full digital. So in this case, the Venetian cluster assisted a number of SMEs with digital innovation and created this type of applications that are needed for any tourist that wishes to go to Venice and the surrounding areas and enjoy the scenery. Another one is a small guest house that also had a baking shop on the side, and they wanted to have an e-shop. They wanted to be more marketable, and so they created the e-shop. They put all the recipes, all the catalog online, and this has created a lot of vibe for the whole community, actually. And this is another initiative from a tour operator. This is a multiplier that went and saw many small rural farms that had something to offer. So they created day tours together. And this is with just 5,000, okay? Have that in mind. So they created day tours in 5 different rural households like this one. And the thing is that they were very successful, and they are marketing this in even in big tour operators. So they bring a lot of customers to them. We would like to thank you for the opportunity to be here and present our project. I would like just to share that in the repository we have the methodology, we have all the information that anybody wishes to know about the project, and also the repository has the project details of all 180 88 SMEs that we supported. Thank you so much.
Thanks very much, both of you. Thanks, Maurizio. Thanks, Frosso. Just to say, we will be discussing in small groups, and our speakers will be also going to those groups. So unless you have a very urgent question or comment right now, I suggest we move on, and then you'll be able to find out more and add comments during the group discussion. I also want to draw your attention to the fact that Eurostat has kindly provided us with a lot of interesting data, for example, on rural tourism. And there are some printouts. Well, it's not for everybody because I'm not sure everybody would be interested, but we will put them out there, and when you go out, you can have a copy or some copies of some of these printouts to find out a little bit more about the data. And of course, you can find all that information on the website. Now, we have had the very much business, well, largely business-oriented project so far, but we also have an example of social economy. So it is business that also reaches social objectives in the community. And there is the Academy of Rural Entrepreneurship that is run by the foundation Civitas in Romania, and we have Márton who will explain this to us now.
Good afternoon. I'm very happy to be here, and
The microphone sometimes doesn't happen immediately, so use this one.
is better? Yeah, okay. Thank you for the opportunity to be here and to speak about Civitas, about one of our projects. We are from Romania, from Cluj-Napoca. We have two regional offices, one in Cluj and second one in Harghita County. Our colleagues before were speaking about the Harghita. What we are doing, we are a private NGO. We are working mostly in the Romania and working mostly in the rural area since 33 years ago. And we are working with very close to small farmer to help the small farmer. You know, Romania have the largest number of the small farmer in the EU. And we help them to go to the market to sell their product. We help them to make cooperatives. We work with local authorities, mostly in the rural area. We give them trainings and some consultancy activity in strategic planning. But also we are working with NGO. We have a crowdfunding platform, one of the well-known crowdfunding platforms in Romania. It's functioning by Civitas. And also we are active in the social economy and entrepreneurship. And the project what I will present it today is related to the social entrepreneurship. And what we are doing in this project, we're trying to make a small color of the life in the rural communities, because in Romania, the rural communities, they have access to the public services, but in most of the situation, they don't have a business sector, don't have an NGO sector. What we are doing, we take some social economy work, and we have both business and also the NGO sector there in that communities. Couple of facts: our project is running in three NUTS2 regions from Romania, in Northwest region, Center, and Northeast region. We are working, we will creating 35 social enterprise in these three regions, and 136 new jobs, because also the jobs is a challenges in that regions. What we are doing in this project, and why we are thinking this kind of project can be a model. We don't give only them a startup financing or regranting, because we give them much more. First of all, we give them accredited course and workshop in entrepreneurship, in social entrepreneurship. This is very important for them. Some of them, it's coming from the vulnerable groups. They don't have any kind of entrepreneurship experience. and it's important to have you have these courses. And also it's important to create a community between these people, to communicate and to share the experience. Second activity, after the courses, the people who participate in the courses can participate in a business plan competition. They can submit a business plan. They have a pitching session. They have discussion with a different consultant, and we choose 35 people to financing their social entrepreneurship idea. And after we selected them, we have mentorship program. We help them, each of them, we discuss couple of days and help them how they can improve their business plan, sign a financing contract, and give them 61,000 euro each of these social entrepreneur. And we stay with them more than 1 year, and monitoring their activity and help them to prepare the reporting, because for them it's very difficult to prepare a report based of the managing authority requirement. How big is this project? This project, you have this Romanian information. This project is 3 million euro, is 3 years long, and we give for the startups 2.1 million euro, and 900,000 euro is for trainings, is for the mentorship, is for the monitoring. We are working with 2 NGO, Civitas Foundation with our office from Cluj and from Harghita County, and World Vision Romania is also one of our main partner, and we are working with World Vision. We, like Cluj, we are working in Northeastern region. Our colleagues from Audrey, they are working in Central region and in Northeastern region, World Vision. Where we are in this moment, we signed a financing contract. We started this project last year in 1st of August. We select the target group. We had more than 115 participants who want to be target group in this project. We run the training program. It was very interesting for us because we have this training program in online format. Before the COVID, we are working mostly on site, but now, because after the COVID, we are working online. It was very interesting how they are react and they are participating. It was long. It takes more than 4 months, the training. After the training, we have a pitching session, the competition, and in first part of the August, we signed the contract. You see a couple of our beneficiaries. We signed the contract with them, and I think next week we will send them the money. 75% of the money we are paying for them before, and they are start to implement their business idea. Why is important this project for us, and also in terms of policy level? Because one, we created jobs also for the vulnerable people. We created businesses in the rural area where the businesses is missing. These businesses give some services or small activities which is missing in that community. I think it's very important because you see in this morning, Romania, unfortunately, we are in the first place in the social issues. We have poorest country in the European Union, and probably our rural area is the poorest rural area in the Europe. And if we are come with different solution, we help this region, these communities to stay alive and to be a better place to live. This is our information. I can give you much more information today or by email. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much. And yes, we have really a wide variety of different enterprises that and ways of supporting, methods of supporting them. And then, as I said, 3.5 inspiring examples of the half example. We actually have Simone Sasso from the Joint Research Center. And that's again an EU agenda, but working very much on the ground with especially startup villages. So just a very, very quick making you aware of this, and then you can look up for more information.
Okay, well, thank you everyone. Thanks for the opportunity. So my name is Simone Sasso. I'm also working for the Commission for the Joint Research Center. Just one word on the Joint Research Center, as many have asked. We are a Directorate General of the Commission, and what we do is basically the internal scientific service of the Commission. We develop studies, metrics, etc., to inform all other DGs, and so to inform policy design, implementation, and monitoring and evaluation. In particular, I'm working in the Territorial Development Unit, where we are conducting analysis to indeed inform place-based policy. We have an area of work on rural areas, and I'm coordinating the work on innovation and entrepreneurship in rural areas within what is called the Startup Village Forum initiative. So what we are doing there is just what I said now. What we do is developing new metrics, new indicators, because we very often say that there is a gap between urban and rural when it comes to innovation and business creation, but when it comes to put numbers to that, we basically don't have much. So what we are doing is developing that and then making sure that these numbers get used by you, by the policymakers and practitioners, so we create spaces also to disseminate this funding and to validate them with you that you are based in rural areas and you're working with rural citizens. So just to give you, I have to be super brief, just to give you a flavor, already 1 minute? No. Just to give you a flavor of what we are doing, here is just the distribution, for instance, of startups in European rural areas. What we see is that overall in Europe we have 6% of the European startups that are in rural areas. However, and this you can see it from the bar graph on the left, we see that rural areas have a comparative advantage not only in the sectors that usually are associated with rural areas, such as agri-food, etc., but also in other sectors. And this includes also high-tech sectors, such as robotics, semiconductors, etc., sectors that require space and that, or many times, that requires access to natural resources. So again, this is just to break cliché. Rural areas can be indeed spaces of opportunities for broad kind of sectors. We are cooking a lot of things. We have a lot of meat on the grill in these months, so it will be ready soon. We are developing new data, interviewing thousands and thousands of firms in all European countries, just to understand how innovative they are, which difficulties they are facing, what is driving rural innovation in rural versus non-rural areas. We are doing also more quantitative analytical studies on, for instance, the distribution of venture capital in rural versus non-rural, on the impact of crowdfunding in rural versus non-rural, try to understand if crowdfunding can act as a complement or as a substitute of venture capital. We are trying to see also if it matters if rural startups emerge in sectors that are similar to the one where the region, the NUTS2 region, is specialized in, and other studies. We just published yesterday a policy brief where you can find the graph I show, but many others, and there are more to come, so you can download it here. If you are a rural municipality interested in discussing these topics, we invite you to register also on our Startup Village mapping. This is simply a call of expression of interest open to all European municipalities that want to be part of this conversation on innovation and entrepreneurship in rural areas. So we simply give visibility to them, include them in our mapping. And this is my final slide. We will be organizing organizing the high-level forum in Brussels, in the headquarters of the European Commission, the main building, the Berlaymont, on the 29th of October. Registration are now open. You're very much welcome to join. This is an event open to researchers, policymakers, entrepreneurs, and practitioners. So we are really trying to bring together the different parts. And with this, so here is my email, and that's it.